Hi everyone, this is Hingy and I am going to go through the wands, what they mean as a block. Learning about cards as a block does help you understand the card, because a lot of times when you read the tarot, you're going to find out what is maybe not going right so that you can change things. And often it's mindset, it's realizing that, oh, my mindset is focusing on this. So my mindset is thinking everybody's against me. That's my mindset. So I'm seeing what I'm already believing, reinforcing a fear, a deep fear and a trauma. Now that I know that I'm doing this, I can start shifting my focus. So, yes, think of your brain and your mind like a computer. A computer that needs tasks. And so think of what you want, and especially if you get a lot of wants in your reading. Wants are wants. Okay? Wants are wants. So if you get a lot of wants, then you have a lot of wants. You want things, you want to achieve things, and you have dreams and you have goals. So make a list, and your brain, the computer, and your mind will start pulling it in, finding ways of making it happen. And if you do have blocks, you can ask the cards, what is the block? Pull one, just shuffle the deck, and the first card that shows up is what you can work on. And if you want to just have a look, if you have any of the blocks of the wand suit, you can pull a card until the first wand card is showing up. I got really into playing Ratchet and Clank PlayStation, and I ended up buying like a PlayStation Cup as well. Anyway, off topic, on topic. When wands is a block or a challenge, they can speak of wanting a lot of attention. Think about wands as your spirit. And your spirit comes alive in certain situations. And when it's healthy, it's motivated by wanting to achieve, wanting to do well in life, wanting to be out there and be yourself. When it's negative, it can crave unhealthy attention. And it could also be that it wants all the rewards without any of the responsibilities. But have a look at the individual card as well. That will tell you more specific what it means. So, Ace of Wands. When Ace of Wands is a block in your life, it could mean that you are winning the battle, but losing the war. Okay? So, think about it. Are you losing the war by focusing on a battle that's not even that important in the big scheme of things? Think about that with Ace of Wands. And a lot of times the secret with Ace of Wands, they feel like they're living a life that is not for them. And they could also live a life that's not supporting of the life they want to live. So the routine that they want, everything they want to achieve, they're kind of manifesting the opposite of that, live in the routine that they're in. But what they also need is patience as well. They need to get an overview of the big picture. Think of what do you actually want. Do a bit of planning, because it's an impulsiveness here in Ace of Wands as well that is not supporting the seeker very much. So when it's a block, so then have to look at it as a more negative. What can you work on? Definitely win the war, not the battle. Be patient. Get the big perspective. Two of Wands. So in Two of Wands, when it is a block, it is very hard for the seeker to make an intuitive decision, and they could also be getting very bad advice. They could even get sabotaged on purpose by someone, like set up to fail. That is sometimes a block in Two of Wands. Also with Two of Wands, the seeker could have grown up with very little support, and it has created mental pain in them and extreme low self-esteem. So they are trying to live a perfect life where they get approval, and they get very upset if they feel like they made a mistake, if they failed. Oh my god, I just had the biggest scare. A big gecko just walked past, but I didn't see it straight away. It just walked, choom, And like, you see a live animal walking past you in Australia, it can be anything. I have had a close encounter with a snake last week. I was this close of stepping on a snake, and it was straight across the pavement, but it was so dark I didn't see it. I thought maybe, I didn't know, I wasn't paying attention, and I just stepped there. And then I looked back and was like, what was that? And it was a big snake. I think it was a python. But now I've been a bit jumpy ever since then. And now that gecko was huge. That was a big gecko then. I have to go look up gecko, what they mean as spirit, because it walked past while I was talking to once, and I'm talking about living without encouragement. So there is something there with gecko. These synchronicities, I do follow up on them. Gecko as a spirit advice animal is connected here to 201 somehow. Okay. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands can show up when the seeker is under a lot of mental stress. And what they really need to do in 3 of Wands is to be able to blend in a little bit more, not to lose their individuality, but where it's causing the mental stress is they could feel like they're just not really coping, but they need to really kind of blend in their environment and be part of the group more. It's almost like they're too much on the outside, and they can absolutely join in and get the most out of this situation for as long as it will serve them, and then move on from it. The thing is with 3 of Wands is that the seeker often feels very stuck, and they don't know how to unstuck themselves. But to get unstuck, they need to be more part of the group. So if it's in a workplace, they need to be a bit more involved with their colleagues and their work life. And maybe even do the social things connected to it, just to get the energy moving, get to know people, networking. And that will help actually. Something else then will come up that they will be much more interested in. But it's almost like they're too afraid to join the party. There could be a lot of shyness as well in 3 of Wands when it's a block. So in 4 of Wands, the seeker usually have something great, a great idea, a great concept, but it's like they get dragged into kind of like lower mentalities. Very much about gossiping, talking about people, not talking about ideas and everything that they can create. It's almost like they're in an environment that's not supporting their ideas. So this is often someone who has a very great mind, but it's not getting used in the best way. They could be dealing also with someone who's either lying or spying on them, or the seeker could be overly curious themselves about people. But what they're really meant to do is to use that great mind of theirs to create something amazing, something that they have as an original idea. They're actually very productive people with great ideas who can get things going. So they just need to use their mind in a more positive way. So if that shows up for you as a block, know that you really have what it takes. You just need to use it in a more positive, beneficial way. Okay, 5 of Wands can mean that the seeker is overly ambitious and not very patient. They want everything now. So that can cause a lot of problem. They could be a little bit too obsessed with their career, for example. And they could also be in need of a healthier lifestyle. They could be very much someone who stays awake at night, have a very active mind. It's hard for them to turn off. And they could be very overwhelmed in the situation that they're in. Maybe they're very much into the drama of it all, and they need to be a little bit more detached, see it more for what it is rather than with all of their emotions racing through it, basically. They could be dealing with stress in an unhealthy way. They need healthier ways to deal with their stress. The seeker feel like they can't be themselves, an enormous fear of failure often. They want to have an easy life, but to get to where it's easy, sometimes there's a little bit of work involved, and to be able to get to that position where they maybe can relax more and be more, they can take things more with ease. there's often a need, and there's a lot of responsibility involved in the process. It's almost like with the Wands, the Seeker is too afraid of that responsibility because they don't believe in themselves and they don't trust in themselves. So that's what the Seeker works on, is a lot of doubt, self-doubt, unfortunately, but it can be resolved and your mind can overcome, and that's what you will overcome your obstacles. The next group I'm going to be talking about is the Suit of Swords, and until then, have a wonderful day. Bye guys.